Jeopardy host Ken Jennings has received flattery from a contestant on Friday's episode of the game show. Ken took to a trip down memory lane with Jeopardy champions wildcard tournament competitor David Ferreira. Ken, 49, asked David, who is a realtor from Los Angeles, California, how he prepared for his return on Jeopardy toward the end of the show. The past game show winner admitted that he watched past Jeopardy episodes to help him get ready for his reappearance. I decided to watch a lot of episodes, and I spent yesterday afternoon watching from season 20 and 21, David divulged. Ken competed in both seasons 20 and 21 of Jeopardy, winning 74 times in the former. David added that during his binge watching, he saw a fresh-faced software engineer show up in every single episode. Ken began to laugh as he realized where David was going. The player revealed that the person he was talking about was none other than a killer named Ken Jennings. David confessed that Ken's run as a Jeopardy contestant was pretty impressive. Ken joked that he must look so old compared to when he debuted on television almost 20 years ago. David assured him that he still looked good and awesome, which caused the host to blush. Crash and burn. Going into Final Jeopardy, David had $6,000. Meanwhile, his competitors, Carrie Cadwallader, had $21,200, and Danielle Maurer had $16,000. Literary characters was the category of the last round, and its final clue was, in his first appearance in 1902, he was described as betwixt and between a boy and a bird. David wasn't able to answer with the correct answer in the allotted time, and so he lost all of his earnings since he had waged it all. Danielle correctly guessed, "Who is Peter Pan?" resulting in her doubling her winnings to $32,000 after she bet all of her money also. "Who is Batman?" was Carrie's guess. It was wrong, so Carrie lost the $10,801 she bet, and only took home $10,399. Since Danielle came out on top, she advanced to the Jeopardy Champions wildcard finals. Champ vs. Champ. Earlier this month, Jeopardy announced the full schedule of episodes for the third bout of its lengthy Champions wildcard tournament. The game show dropped the matches and contestants, with some majorly familiar faces airing until November 28. Ken is hosting Jeopardy Champions wildcard for former brief winners instead of regular episodes. All contestants nabbed 1, 2, or 3 wins in Season 37 or Season 38 and are back for a second shot at glory. The brand new tournament is divided into 4 groups, with Emily Sands clinching the second crown on November 8. She joined Matt Sock, who won the first group, in earning $100,000 and going on to the next Tournament of Champions. Ken Jennings, the venerable host of Jeopardy, was accustomed to handling intense moments on the iconic quiz show. As a former contestant turned host, he had seen it all: unpredictable game strategies, shocking upsets, and mind-boggling trivia knowledge. However, nothing had prepared him for the surprising turn of events that unfolded on this particular episode. The day began like any other in the Jeopardy studio. The audience buzzed with excitement as they filed into their seats, eager to watch the taping of America's favorite quiz show. Ken stood at his usual spot behind the lectern, his blue eyes scanning the studio with a confident ease that came from years of experience. The familiar theme music played, and the cameras rolled as the show's announcer, Johnny Gilbert, boomed, "This is Jeopardy!" As the music faded, Ken greeted the audience and the 3 contestants. Each of them had their game faces on, ready to take on the challenge ahead. There was Sarah, a librarian from Portland, Oregon, who had an encyclopedic knowledge of classic literature; Marcus, an IT specialist from Atlanta, Georgia, who was known for his quick reflexes on the buzzer; and Lily, a graduate student from New York City, whose background in history made her a formidable opponent. The game proceeded with the usual intensity. Sarah quickly took an early lead with her literary expertise, while Marcus remained close behind, strategically choosing higher-value clues. Lily, although initially quiet, soon found her rhythm, dominating the history and geography categories. The competition was fierce, and the scores remained tight as the game progressed. Ken, ever the gracious host, kept the game moving with his trademark wit and charm. However, as they approached the end of the Double Jeopardy round, something unexpected happened. Lily, who had just answered a particularly challenging question about the Byzantine Empire, turned to Ken with a smile. "Ken," she began, her voice light with amusement, "I just have to say, you're looking really good today. What's your secret?" The audience chuckled at the unexpected compliment, and even Ken was momentarily taken aback. He wasn't often the recipient of such remarks, especially in the middle of a game. He felt a sudden warmth rise to his cheeks, a blush that he tried to suppress but couldn't quite manage. "Why, thank you, Lily," Ken replied, his voice betraying a hint of embarrassment. He glanced down at his lectern, fumbling for words. "I guess it's just the lighting, or maybe the makeup department deserves the credit." The audience laughed, enjoying the rare moment of lightheartedness. Lily grinned, clearly pleased with herself, while Marcus and Sarah exchanged amused glances. Ken, still slightly flustered, quickly regained his composure and moved on to the next clue. But the moment lingered in the air, adding an unexpected layer of warmth to the competitive atmosphere. Ken, though slightly embarrassed, couldn't help but feel a boost of confidence. It was a rare thing for him to be the focus of such attention, and despite the unexpectedness of it all, he found himself smiling more than usual as the game continued. The final round was fast approaching, and the tension in the studio began to rise. Sarah, Marcus, and Lily were all within striking distance of each other, their scores close enough that the final Jeopardy round would determine the winner. The category was revealed: famous battles. Ken read the clue aloud. This battle, fought in 1066, marked the beginning of the Norman conquest of England. The contestants scribbled their answers on their screens, each lost in thought as they weighed their options. The familiar final Jeopardy music played, heightening the suspense. As the final seconds ticked away, Ken couldn't help but glance at the contestants, wondering who would emerge victorious. The music ended, and the time had come to reveal the answers. Ken started with Sarah, who had wagered a conservative amount. Her response was correct. "What is the Battle of Hastings?" She smiled as her total increased, putting her in the lead. Next was Marcus. His answer was also correct, but he had wagered more aggressively, bringing him ahead of Sarah by a narrow margin. The audience murmured in anticipation. Everything now rested on Lily's answer. Ken turned to Lily, who looked calm despite the pressure. Her screen revealed the correct answer as well. "What is the Battle of Hastings?" The audience erupted in applause, but all eyes were on her wager.